Na empombo ko dia.
Daruma na ozwe.
Erade adom. Afisha panso.
Afin kompete. Afisa se brena.
Me tie do pesa o ka gogo.
Wa oni ni pesa ka ba.
Davi gogo mi ni.
Me nka bi o.
Gogo do pesa o ka no kana vote.
We make it later.
I see.
But it's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Nanka me because service is a brand now that hot Kessben.
Amen. The last time you share, you share, baby. I see.
But next year by this time, share.
Yes.
Great. I'm excited to be here.
I have 5 hours.
It's nice. It's well constructed. It looks good. Of course, the COVID so is very spacious and everything. The panetone.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
It's a Venice owner, CEO, management, general manager. Obia Ebema Moyikona. Next year by this time, let's pray that Accra na mobile.
Yes.
Na one for super. Yeah, sure.
But I say, Koku, Koku Anyidoho. From the last time I doing Koku tells me say on-call radio to be. And menen say we afeno na afebibiana ya kama. And Koku, the Atamos Institute. How are you doing? More your dance say.
Well, thank you. Na me Matthew for so afishapa. I'm saying pa we be ma wunyina afishapa. Accra Kumasi online, baby. Oh, at Atamos Institute, we are doing well. Next year will be 10 years.
Okay.
I think about Nano, yeah, to about
10 years.
2020. 1 year. Next year, July, 24 July, not 10 years. Our President Mills, Nankopon friend, who said,
wow.
Yeah, next year, July.
I just 2012 years.
Say 2022.
Interesting.
So it will be 2 years. At Atamos Institute, Yankasa there. Next year will be about 4 years old. So we are doing very well. Ubisamia, Nyankopon Daruma. Bibia Shase, enye easy. But in Paibo, a strong determination to work hard. We are doing very well. And I think next year, God willing, Juma Baku. Ghanaians will see what we have been able to do.
Okay.
But otherwise, as a civic
ahead of the anniversary now.
For the anniversary itself.
Okay.
The event in collaboration with the state. And it's Asumdwe Park. Obiabe Kai say maybe a Kremuna Asumdwe Park as a Honomno was abandoned. Esufre a Chaupa. Mr. Last year, MPP are buying Edema contractor. So Asumdwe Park is being built.
Okay.
GD said next year, July 10th anniversary. No, that Asumdwe Park should either be completed or a bedroom purpose by Ghana Fu who say Atamos Institute. Yeah, there.
Okay. Mami miss out this particular question. I don't know, so who will answer to me there. Former President Jerry John Rawlings, who you see the military cemetery. As a former military person and then as a former head of state. Once you become a head of state, you know, obey commander-in-chief of the armed forces. It didn't hear prof there, you see in Asumdwe Park.
Well, for good reason. I think the whole idea, of course, that time now military cemetery, no?
Yeah.
Osu. Now, I kind of overused. Near starting you new one. No?
Okay.
And the whole idea was to create Asumdwe Park. Of course, President Mills is the only sitting president. Our can baby abra Juma.
Otia
Kunyaso, thank you. Oma Mokano. So would you but I didn't Juma, Omoko home Jim. But Onona Ote Akunyaso, and I didn't see a toy in any. So at that time, the decision was that Honum no, young creating Honum no into a proper memorial and a burial place for all presidents.
I be more of a museum.
But exactly, but to be clear, I mean, as it is now, no, the place has not been done up.
Okay.
Well, into Vice President Misata, Kai baby, no, military cemetery, President Rawlings military cemetery. But I believe say next year, by this time, all things being called,
Professor Prof, but that Asumdwe Park, and I am moving in military cemetery.
No. from what we are doing at Asumdwe Park.
Okay.
Abaya Daruma. Na architects, ne contractors, designer, no hano, abema. It's not only a cemetery, military cemetery, but we no as a whole complex.
Okay.
It comes with a mini library, a mini conference center, a mini audiovisual center. We have a mini mart, a mini shop. We have a cafeteria. We have a little restaurant. And place, in fact, Park Ankasa, the green area.
Yeah.
People can actually come and have events there. In fact, as at now, it is Accra, Mr. Speaker, Saturdays, Sundays.
Yes.
Nipa baho, a picture.
I see.
Picture. Look, it's going to be beautiful and one of the best monuments I built. President Akufo-Addo cry na okuya no a. As I mentioned, no kasa onim ne ekoso ho. Just say you do esu friend.
But who spearhead this?
Oh yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, at Tamils Institute, we had to plead with government. And President Mills was president of the Republic of Ghana. And the project now, and baku for there. So ubi to me and ubi abano, yeah. I think it is all in the spirit of nation building. And so for me, and me ferry da say mekane baby say a buying we
and a
airborne yeah some great packing. Facts are facts. Training that why I'm born change. So at the end of the one is completed anyway. I bet Ghana in idea. And for me, the interesting thing is that every night they make school koraso. They come, they want to know about the president, who he was, and I think it is actually painful. It's painful. Say, Oko Kipkusa.
Yeah.
Presidential Memorial Library.
Library, no. Esiho.
Essay. Ebani say, and also Oko Kanisisiana nipa ntien ye as a wona ode sobo ebo wan kasa o party. But my brother, for how long can we continue to pretend say adiane nya yen fan to mankata so yen president of course Ghana president but yen party and at 2012 papa neka baby sorry papa President Mills
eka baby
on my morning opposition government we all came together we seen CCA no but at the end of the day now buying be also and a juma bi wo was say for some reason it wasn't done. 4 years, 4.5 years, another government has come on mining pending kind and on say nothing going. So if another government is doing it, I'll give credit where credit is due. But the painful one about the Cape Coast Memorial Library. Asumdwe Park the one yen secret. But Cape Coast Library need under the auspices of Telcos. Telecommunication companies,
okay.
MTN, Zain, say Tigo, DND. Donate sika. And at the point we were told, say, donate sika nina. MESC library, no. Emma 2016, just before election, there was some ceremony to commission it. I was there, yes. I was there at that ceremony, supposedly to commission the library. Yenkoti a contract and they say, Owie Jumano, Yenchianeka. It's since 2016, Mr. Speaker. I call yes, no. The dada Ghana for us today. And now, yes, contract and they say, Yenchianeka, and you release Kino. And this was before the 2016 election. So it's got nothing to do with the current administration. And also has got nothing to do with the NDC administration because it was a committee that was set up and oversaw this thing. Why? President Mills, say Obaya so mine. Say NDC and they can't NDC politics. Rollins and NDC fire by. Only 8 years and a co-opposition. So for 8 years in opposition and a banner. The history of NDC, President Mills will remain the first person out to the free opposition
about power.
Apart from that, the economic record that he left, the things he did for the governance process. Master, unim say National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving or by.
Yes.
Go and read the history of the Britain. Go and read the history of the United States. Specifically, there's in 1940, under Winston Churchill, British for Second War. At a point in time when they thought that the Germans and the French were virtually finishing them, there was a National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. Basically, 5 days, and they saw victory. Subsequently, they had National Days of Prayer and Thanksgiving, and God took them out of setting If you go to the US, other presidents did the same thing.
Kessben.
And it's a President Mills by or the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving by. So if we experienced solid economic growth under a certain period, so God bless our homeland Ghana, God bless our homeland Ghana, yeah, kind. The national anthem never. Why have we left the God factor out of our governance process? UK may be suffering today because they've also left the God factor out of it. America may be suffering because they've left the God factor out of it. So there is a God, or there is a supreme being. At least, Mr. Speaker, every religion, no matter the religion, at least they believe that there's a supreme being. And as I'm a boy,
Yes, of course.
it's just that they have different names
Ways
for.
of explaining.
So there's a supreme being. How do we factor the supreme being in the national agenda? So at Amos Institute, we are doing our little bit, and we are growing.
Okay.
And we're happy.
Before I ahead of the anniversary next year, I will let you tell us some of the series of events maybe and that thing. But let's deal with a couple of national issues.
Sure.
What's it say? 2022 budget, bro.
Well,
yes, we'll bet you E.Levy. By the passage of the budget, and pay appropriation from January, mobile money, so orphanage house, and I will send this you would have to pay taxes on it. Aside that, 15 percentage point, and I charge you on government services. Okoye passport, okoye birth certificate. Service because a buying letter. Ubetia 15%. And then the concerns are minority areas coupled with fuel prices and the challenges are here. Minority right. Say baby economy abedru no. One will raise set concerns to force the government to reduce some of the provisions why in the budget.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. It takes me back to the whole issue of Atamils again. Yes, Aden, it comes back to the 1992 Constitution.
Okay.
And the way the Constitution has been structured. And our politics now, over the period. And they say, opposition criticize everything buying a year. Unya tumina also, na opposition, so I criticize you.
Okay.
We don't have a culture of say buying a year, na year. Opposition to be being an say, sa policy way there. And then they are bedroom.
Okay.
That is where we are, Mr. Speaker. Because from 1992, so who are by now year, me bow basso as opposition, monsieur. Into a name Koku Anyidoho even as at Amos Institute. Say ye de se COVID aba. Na e binomu say ye total lockdown. Na president say or the science and data and a analysis and sana ye total lockdown. Ye be total lockdown or best started with partial lockdown. And as a policy think tank at Amos Institute, I am saying that from a scientific perspective, Nanka make na me here President Mills speechwriter. And some President Akufo-Addo can for the initial decision is a total lockdown. I think that is good government communication. Boy, I don't know. That's what we have done to our politics. Maybe, of course, me inclusive. So everything government is doing is bad. The issue of taxation. President Mills, number one tax expert in this country. Everybody knows. In fact, me know General Majakrana Edin Komokra will say at times China the University of Ghana Business School. UGBS.
Okay.
The issue of tax, is it right or wrong? It is right. The concept of taxation is right. There's no country that grows without taxes. It's impossible. If I need to go to the Scandinavian countries, maybe a development about the highest. Honor taxes no cry the highest. But to what extent have we, as politicians, educated the masses to know, say, taxation is a critical part of income generation? We haven't. Into a ban say, yeah, they politics. And as for the politics, you can't stop politicians from doing politics with it. But otherwise, the government of today also, when they were in opposition, all the things they said about taxes. As a musyokrasi obeji tax. But you see, they have come and they are doing something good, which is a digitalization project. Taking away human intervention in terms of revenue accruing to the state. Have they been transparent enough with the taxes that have accrued from that aspect? And now when you're there. And sana E.Levy way beba. And for the E.Levy, the biggest challenge with the E.Levy, Mr. Speaker, is that it defies even basic principles of taxation.
I didn't hear.
If I've earned a salary, and I've paid income tax, so that income has been taxed
already
ab initio. But I decide that I will contribute. I'll send something to Kessben, a morning show, because you are my friend.
Okay.
That money that I'm sending this morning is not income.
It's cancel your tax.
The tax is
okay.
You understand? It's just I'm just sending it to you for something. Why? So if I do 10 different momos in this morning, all the 10 different ones will be taxed based on the same income that has already been taxed at base. Because the principle of taxation is that you tax something that has generated income or generated something extra.
Okay, profit.
Thank you. But somebody's salary has been taxed already, and he just wants to now it becomes a fundamental principle when it becomes top double taxation, triple taxation, quadruple taxation. So then you are overburdening the people with taxes. That is not a lie. That is true. How the government managed to take that decision, and if you look at it, even all the tax experts are saying that go back and do further consultation. Go back and do further consolidation. So that is where the government is. Now that you didn't consult widely, you are introducing this, and it has become a stalemate in Parliament now. And I'm just reading the front page of Graphic, and the revered, respected Asantini. I say Asantini condemns Parliament intransigence, fears its recipe for civil disorder. And if you read the first 4 paragraphs, very interesting. Sebe penyin Odia Matimante. Exactly. And now what to the num say there? Penyin Akasa. Wakasa pa. And other tabloids have also given different spins, but I would prefer to use the state-owned media because they are more measured in the headline. Asantini condemns Parliament intransigence, fears its recipe for civil disorder. Or say that, just give me just 1 minute. That Asantini 2482 has deplored the uncompromising position taken by both the majority and the minority sides implement on issues bordering on national interest.
Kessben.
He said such intransigent stance did not augur well for the country's democracy and could create room for an insurrection. See, to quote, when the art of governance becomes overly rigid and inflexible, it invites the search for an irresistible force and an orthodox path for resistance. Or if you like, when you tempt fate, there's no JJ Shebre too much, you risk the danger of fate descending with unintended consequences. End of quote. One way now JJ Shebre Dudwa. A bedroom pebina Shebre a money who so.
Yeah.
And that's all son one. Baby or de adiane befano. Enyamude. And maybe me can say same way be. Say me can say some man can say. Because if you go into the history of our parliamentary democracy,
yes.
I think in 1979, under the Third Republic, there was a same issue with the inability of the National Assembly Parliament to pass a budget for the Liman regime.
Okay.
Whatever happened is history. So let's not push the frontiers of the democracy to any breaking point. Let us not push the frontiers of democracy to any breaking point. I mean, so the politics is going on, but we need a budget to function. Otherwise, how do we pay salaries?
But majority is on pass it in their own accord, and you know
that is
problem.
That is where we are. They almost all pass it.
Minority some are reject.
Minority reject it first.
Yes.
Our parliament majority walk out. Then interestingly, majority super pass
minority
walk out.
Present.
I mean, I don't say we don't know what's going on now.
I didn't go.
Why? If they all sit, and they raise their protest and they vote, won't we know the real numbers? So they said, so Masaya walk out, here's why I walk out, then they want to play games with us.
It's our dynamics, any games, I hear Barney saying, is it based on negotiation?
I think that's where the Santini is coming from. That the games, Edu Babia, let's call a truce on the game and realize that Masa say a game being the boy. People are seeing through the game and beyond the game into Ajubreo, and let us move on. Right? Let us move on. That's all, because we cannot function without the budget. We cannot function as a nation. Everything by 30. Today is what? 14th. So another 15 days. December is over.
Yes.
Is that not it?
Yeah.
How do we function? How do we operate?
Interesting. But budget, is problematic. Minority, a very genuine consensus. And
of course. I mean, why not? I've talked about the general issue of the principle of taxation. Yeah. So if they find it difficult to accept a certain policy to do with taxation, but like you see, our 1992 constitution, if you go into it deeply, Mr. Speaker, that's where the challenge is for our whole governance process.
Okay.
So we have a constitution. Then again, our boycott. And 92, year constitution. Yamrapon. Ebinumu say, omodie, omushek chi ebinumu. And to omun kosa consultative assembly to go and deliberate on the crafting of the constitution. At the end of the day, you left the constitution, the crafting of the constitution, to one side of the political divide. Let's be fair to our history. Boycott, GBA, boycott here. Some political group boycott here. When boycott here, no. At the end of the day, you left the constitution in the hands of one side of the divide. Say between Tumpeni baby ako. Now from Abona Kofao. So the constitution was crafted in a certain way. Now, it took a visionary president like Atam to say, look, if we don't change this constitution going forward, because the constitution is a document, so you have all the fine articles, all the blah, blah, blah. You have the institutions of state, Mr. Speaker. But the constitution as it is, it's not where we have got into. It's not development-oriented as a document. If you've gone through it very well.
But more party they take initiative for amendment.
Wonderful.
But reports in that's what
one of the things that President Mills was going to change in the constitution. We're talking about taxes. As we speak now, the 1992 constitution, an entrenched clause stops or bars the president, the vice president, from paying any form of tax on emoluments. So, President Intia tax from 22 from Jerry Rawlings, Yentia, President Kufo Entia, President Mills Abresu no Ntia, and he said, Masa, yes, he said, dear winner, yes, that's Intia, and now Odumankumo Wu, Ebefano Koye, Okoye, only God knows what. So, apart from that, another dangerous thing, my brother, is that BBI kra in the name of the office of the president, and also the reporter in Chiang tax. So, if you are not careful, all kinds of things can come in the name of the office of the president. Master, what kind of constitution is that? That we all, everybody else in the country pays tax. Or for that matter, taxing either directly or indirectly. So let's say that the citizenry will pay tax because there's direct and indirect. But how come the people who take the ultimate decision that we should pay tax don't pay? So if you read the Constitutional Review Commission report, it is stated clearly that on the issue of equity, say now be a president now so otisemia and then Ghana for other what by a president, it doesn't mean yes, so a state will take care of you in so many ways. Now tax kakra also be tua it's unfair.
Interesting. Gogo so mo me na me kind message abano kakra na gogo na wo can be answer na me ko for what
yeah thanks to the omomusene messages no now mama say me come back no. For your information, I haven't gone anywhere. Baby, I have really not gone anywhere. Obi next year. Say what pam me. Exactly, without giving me any light. Brothers and sisters, I've not gone anywhere. The truth of the matter is that, and I've said it several times, for so many years, I was in charge of so many things.
Yeah.
Opposition, Yadeba Abemu, Esako opposition. So when you are on top of everyday information, it's very easy to communicate. Unfortunately, I'm not on top of everyday information any longer at the headquarters. If you call me, I can't communicate directly. That's the only challenge today. But otherwise, generally speaking on NDC, I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't resigned.
Because what need locals?
Exactly. Now, Rollins say, if anything, 1 year anniversary. But I was in Angloga. We were there. I was in the NDC colors. So, as and when it is necessary, they will see me. But
yes, but Koku, the last time I didn't come on, Okasa would disagree with us here. Don't get here. In fact,
let's discuss the national issue first.
So because national issues, are very important. Yes. But when you are very important, because you said one retracted letter of Troy, so dear you were dinner, you may go to court. But up to now, you say.
Oh well, it's don't forget that it's still work in progress, and don't forget also that there's a big political party. Penny for or party.
Okay.
And if some of them feel that you have not been treated fairly and they respect you because they know what you have done for the party in the past, some of them have ways and means of reaching you. And also, you need any Obama almost say, okay, let's tamper this with mercy for some time.
Okay.
And see how it goes. Because that day in the interview, I told you, I showed you evidence of events and correspondences, letters, and that they should respond. If they don't respond, I may have no option but to go to court. But like I'm saying, so I came out and I copied people, very serious people in the party. So if in the process, people have reached out to you and they have spoken to you and they are like, Masa, we understand that, look, certain comments were run about you on the air and it's not in good taste. If you have not been served with any letter, yet the General Secretary of the party can go on air and run you down, we don't think it has been fair to you. But, let's just manage this matter and let's see how it goes. And in all honesty, I've not heard the General Secretary run his mouth again. Yeah, for some time now, I've not heard him. So maybe he too, some people have reached him and told him, say, Masa, kwana letter be, nipa letter be. Now the nam radio, so say what pam no. Abra letter be now, ukogu ni masi na, Masa, hwewu ye na bia wo ye no and also yentina.
But one kasa when you see don't get ya resolve the personal differences.
Oh, you see, there's no personal difference. That's the thing.
But when you're fine.
No, there's no personal difference. That is why I'm surprised that he took that action. Because, Master, I served you as your deputy for 4 years. Not once. I am here. Not once. I am here. Go and check the records. The number of times I will call here as Oko leave and I say took as general secretary. I acted in your stead. Oko ba here, Master. Bibia and Tochima. Even comfortable lead press conference. Sometime now we call Sekwa. Oko to about Sekwa.
Yeah.
On our vote. And I'm here deputy in charge of operations. I'm here in charge of the whole headquarters at the time. At the time I hear press conference now, you were not available. And the lot fell on me. Because when the information came that look, you guys have to say something, put out information based on figures at the time. No, I was the next in command, and I'm here. But you know the interesting thing, all free cycle by one by headquarters. I mean, saying. All I saw was that only president no consider defeat. Ever president fear. So you people went consider defeat when we were at the headquarters working, thinking that we had some figures. You people went and consider defeat. Master, I don't want to go into some of those details. So he had no right to attend.
But the name many people was here because NDC for the Ghana for the
exactly.
If we say we are very ungrateful to the NDC,
no.
And I feel John Mahama precisely.
So me, I was at headquarters working as the deputy in charge of operations. Sebe me na me wo ekuna no. Moko consider defeat. Nobody had the courtesy to call me at headquarters and say, Master, we have some figures. Me who are general secretary, Gina, president, and I'm consider defeat. Kessben. And general secretary, actually in the Batakari and in the baseball chair. I was done in the baseball cap the other way around. A very broad grin on his face. Whether he was enjoying the concession speech or not, I don't know. And Nibria ba yin na ya bre, yin ya brea. He see consider defeat. Now the share basketball cap you, and a broad smile on your face. If you ask me, that is very antipathic conduct.
I see.
No, Master, let's be serious. This is a critical election, a sitting government. We've gone to election.
Election.
Yeah, and you decide to be in a baseball cap.
But that time would drain the peace of the country. Say some about mine anymore.
Why not? That's why I didn't declare any results. I only said that based on what we have, we're in a comfortable. I never said we had won to create any confusion. I said, Satana Samia Wuku MPP for Macmenu for SRT press conference at Homachebe at 1 a.m. So we too had to come out with our figures. And per the figures we had collated at the headquarters at the time. And that's the English I spoke. We were in a comfortable lead, at least on the presidential. Because parliamentary, as a nanu ya parliamentary, so sasa nesai. Sasa na sasa na biya. Because parliament they who in them. But presidential na who in terms of parliament, parliamentary. And at the end of the day, is it not true that parliamentary they beat us by a wide margin?
Yeah.
So I was just being honest. It was a presidential that, based on calculations we were doing at the time, it didn't look that bad. Of course, at the end of the day, the president himself, aided by the general secretary, went and considered. I didn't concede defeat.
Okay. For the look of things, it looks as if say NDC for Besade, John Mahama baby in 2024. Miss my question answer. It looks as if somebody John Mahama baby. I'm told say what they will candidate but Dr. Kwabena for say what I was saying.
Producer bright and the mouse are question is
producer non on Kasaya crowd. But the point is that yes, when I was say Dr. Kwabena for and I will push it say I'm a contested John Mahama.
Let me show you something.
Me too.
As a name is the question.
But what's the way you prepare beer for bottom? But the monfa camera didn't to so. I'm find to go.
The crater and them.
Well, I know your crater, I mean.
What the camera away?
Camera did also, and I was already.
Oh, sir.
And to the screen is will be a
millions here.
Yes, to me kind.
Okay, so this is IFS.
Okay.
Institute for Fiscal Studies. 18th November 2021. Mr. Koku Anyidoho,
Kessben,
Executive Director at Tamils Institute.
Okay.
Dear Mr. Anyidoho, invitation to a national conversation on Ghana's unemployment situation and how to create jobs and opportunities for all. The Institute for Fiscal Studies is pleased to invite you to a special event on the above subject matter. This special event, which will be addressed by the founder and president of the Institute, Dr. Koku Anyidoho, aims to start a national conversation on the country's unemployment crisis, especially among the youth, with a view to finding creative solutions to this immense national challenge. At this event, Dr. Anyidoho, who is a former governor of the Bank of Ghana and former Minister of Finance, will tap into his rich and wide-ranging public policy making and private sector experience to propose several new approaches to decent and sustainable job creation in Ghana. Blah, 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 blah. Yours signed, Professor Newman Kusi, Executive Director.
Okay.
So I was invited to a public forum.
Addressed by Dr. Anyidoho.
Yes, on job creation. Now, this is somebody also who was finance minister. In fact, the story about Atamus Institute. Of course, he set up IFES in 2014 or so, Institute for Fiscal Studies. And to me, set up Atamus Institute in 2018, 2019. Because I know him very well. So initially, I actually registered Atamil's Ideological Institute.
Okay.
AMII, Atamil's Ideological Institute. Ono to me for me ideological. Nim free honaminyano as Atamil's Institute because ideological over the years it has some bit of negative connotation.
Okay. As agenda.
Thank you. As a brainwashing agenda. That's how I changed it from Atamil's Ideological Institute to Atomic Institute. So I have a long-standing relationship with Dr. Anyidoho. Now, secondly, he was finance minister under President Mills. The period under which the record of the economy, fantastic. Now, so when he invites me to a public forum to begin to discuss his vision for public policy, national development, and especially a creative approach to job creation, Mr. Speaker.
There is no way I'll But I know when I as a candidate. I don't know they pay yes or no.
Subsequently, yes, forum New Year. And I'm also making papers more.
So, person
contesting. To be frank, at that forum, he didn't make any comment to that effect. But Adabale was the MC for the program. MC, more media for. Your mamu Kobia, Mupe money. Your mamu money, Mupe, your mamu to say, this year was sent to Jamupe. Mumpe Macron, this idea. Kobini, Atobini, Totobino, I am dead. Yeah. Send the man quiet there. So he has made. Subsequently, he has made his intention known. Yes. But I have said on several platforms that I buy into the vision because it's a very practical vision on job creation. And if we share better Ghana agenda, I had about 2008, and now I'm a finance minister, Mr. Speaker, Maza, the records are there. Nobody's manufacturing it. So if he still has that vision, and he thinks he wants to help the nation, be it at the IFS platform level, whatever, I buy into that vision.
Okay. But many will be Hanabisu Abudia and have dealt with her. When National Women Organizer, no, say, you know, baby, I'm with the women wing in the economy. The Abona Mochen this in man is a woman.
Or say the nation nobody.
As I just have for Obia Kotina Parliament, Nanyon into Obodia. If you are born, some video now. Yes. Comment on it.
I think it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Only on Obodia no bono afenu bakun obono left half a baby say well. Say left no nya and my bar right kakra nanso.
But is this the caliber I'm person leading women?
But I think that the politics of insult, zero. That one, let's condemn it.
Okay.
But condemn it, you know. Sometimes, Mr. Speaker, I've interacted with you several times.
Yes.
You are a very decent person.
Thank you.
And so are many other of your colleagues out there. But if you look at this one, and it's as if the host was goading her on. That's the challenge. So if you decide to reduce your console and your speaker and get people and program them in such a way, at least me Koku Anyidoho, nobody programs me in such a way.
But presenter now, yes, sir. This is a national women.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's why you're mindful of the position.
Certainly, that you are the face of the women's wing of the party. And then that no matter what some presenter is trying to get you to do, you must know that you carry a lot of weight.
Okay.
Carry a lot of weight. And so I say, even the fact that she herself is playing both ends, I'm sure at the point in time, her conscience was telling her that, Master, Mom, call one way to do. Balance the equation. Let's balance the equation. Let's do the politics, but devoid of insults. Look, it's a message we want to send to Ghanaians.
Okay.
And that's what Ghanaians are looking for. An alternative message, if there is, but not the politics of insult. It won't help anybody.
Now, Christmas message to Ghanaians.
Well, I mean, thank you very much once again. Maminda Bright, producer, the general manager, Swasi, and yourself, and everybody who has made this interview possible. The year is coming to an end. Like I said, another 15 days from now. Me personally, last year was tough for me. November 8th, November 7th, and I'm about 8-year-old girl. Okay, baby, yeah, man, kasa say be me 19 ba, and say ubi ba no woman che, man kasa me 19 ba, and on the 12th of the same month, November, Papa J passed. Last year was tough, very tough. This year, Nyankopon, 1 year is gone. We stopped crying, but of course, last month we lost colleagues again. Captain Kojigata, yes, you know, Antijiva, Ativo, but it will come one day when it has to come. But I think that as a nation, on the national level, my simple Christmas message is that Ghana must not die.
Okay.
Let us not allow politics to kill the Republic of Ghana. No. Because one more the politics in the buy, I come in Kromanoma, or more the politics in the EBG Fahundi Mae. Say nya Fahundi, say on mining tumpung, and Nantin Konenim, na Yenye Juma, na Yentena Asumjim. Yeah, Banumen, me and fight politics no. And say, let's not use the politics to destroy Ghana. Let Ghana live. And let's pray. I said at the beginning that the prayer thing, let's not take it for granted. Let's pray. So for me, my prayer is that on the roads, let's drive safely. COVID, so COVID protocols, we are fine, and kata COVID no suma, and bedane, bibi basa amaye. Now let's pray for a good Christmas. Enter 2022 with greater optimism and see where this nation shall end up.
Koku, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you too. And all of your listeners.
Yeah, that's a